It's difficult to make predictions, especially about the future. This quote is attributed to Yogi Berra and about a million other people. Probably it's a Danish proverb written about in I believe, the 1800s by someone in Denmark. Hi, this is Gary. This is Gary on Manufacturing. This podcast is brought to you with support from Inductive Automation. Discover a whole new view with Ignition 8 by Inductive Automation, packed with features for the modern control system like unlimited licensing, high-powered tags, and a mobile-first flexible design environment for all devices. Ignition 8 supports enterprises of any size. See all Ignition has to offer at inductiveautomation.com. Didn't really come to talk about predicting the future, as in prognostication or fortune telling or your astrological sign or whatever else you might be thinking of. It seems like wherever I go, especially in any interface between IT and OT, when we're talking about accumulating massive amounts of data and applying algorithms and analytics, they all get around to predictive and they all get around to predictive maintenance. I've talked to several IT companies over the years, and they all bring up predictive maintenance as the killer app. That's the spreadsheet for the industrial world today for IoT. And I keep telling them that we've been talking about predictive maintenance for years, and B, it's okay, it works, but it's not like the nirvana that serves all manufacturing problems. It doesn't even solve all maintenance problems. Now, I have to admit, I've worked in probably every department and area in manufacturing in my career except for one, and that one is maintenance and reliability. I never had a job in that area, but working in manufacturing engineering, industrial engineering, product development, and a lot of other things that I did, including cost accounting. I did a lot of interface with that way, so it's not like I'm totally unfamiliar. And I did consulting and actually worked for a while trying to refurbish a maintenance magazine. So I got to know a lot of people and a lot that was going on. But by no means am I an expert in that particularly, except that I know that maintenance is you need a whole lot of tools. And one of the tools is predictive maintenance. And another tool is condition-based monitoring, so that we can make decisions based on the condition that we see of the process or the machine. Of course, preventive is always good, going around and doing our routine, take a look at things and lubricating and so on. And some of the things that they do on those routine rounds is always really good. Of course, we're trying to avoid the inevitable shutdown, which screws us all up when we didn't plan for it. So the goal of everything is to figure out what's going on so that we can plan for a shutdown and then plan all the parts that we need and everything that we need to do to upgrade when the shutdown or turnaround or whatever is going on strategically from the boss is going to happen. So I've always found it really interesting and a little bit disheartening that that's what everybody jumps in. They don't realize on the other side, it comes down to data, and then other people say, well, data's the new oil, data's this, data's that, and that sort of thing. And they are exactly right and exactly wrong. The reason we have Internet of Things at all, and we were connecting things digitally for a long time. I was doing some digital work the best that we could do back in that day, back in the very late 1970s. And in the 1980s, we were doing things with PCs on machines and different things, and getting data off of the machines that we were selling to people like General Motors and various Ford, General Electric. We sold machines at one company I worked for to all the big guys like that for their automated assembly lines. And we did assembly and testing automated. So we were accumulating a lot of data and forwarding it off, and we were already doing that in the mid 80s. So a lot of the stuff we're talking about isn't exactly new. We were doing that. Internet of Things wasn't invented as a term, but we were connecting things. We just didn't have an internet back then. And that's kind of the development of where we are. And really what we have is we now have better and better ways of connecting all kinds of devices that have all kinds of interesting input. Even a binary switch can tell us something, but it's amazing what they added to photoelectric switches, which used to be just on off. It told us the presence or absence of a part in on the conveyor or in the fixture or whatever we were doing. And so, it's an on off, but then they added some analog stuff in there. And eventually, what happened in that was we could tell the condition of the sensor, which was cool, and it could relay that back to the PLC. And then we could know when the photoelectric was degrading, and we could send a maintenance guy out there with a rag to wipe off the front, or we could replace it, whatever needed to be done. It was quicker and easier than waiting for the line to shut down. That's for darn sure. I have been there when the plant manager is threatening me with my life and all that kind of stuff. So, I'm sure most of us have. But anyway, I wanted to get back to data, and it's really data, but data is basically just something that's a lot of, right these days, it's a bunch of bits on some sort of a storage device in some sort of a server somewhere. That's called the cloud. We don't know where it is. It's somewhere, and we don't really care. It could be AWS or Google or Azure or whatever. Could be our own cloud. Hey, you get off of my cloud or whatever. And that's the basis of it. But really, it does us no good until it gets in the hands of operators so they can operate the process or the machine better, plant managers so they can look over their whole line and make decisions based on potential shutdowns, production flow, needing for changeovers to a different product, all the different kinds of decisions that a plant manager has, including profitability of the plant and knowing calculations for when this goes down and this goes up, if I can tweak production or whatever I can do, and I can do more. And what is it? It's decisions. I can make better decisions if I have better data. The maintenance and reliability managers can make better decisions on keeping equipment up, and operations people can make better decisions on keeping the process running. Inventory managers can make better decisions on the flow of inventory and maybe even through the supply chain. Engineers get a better look at the operations of machines and what needs to be tweaked, and maybe a different kind of motor would be good, or maybe there's a problem with this kind of motion control drive that we could switch to another vendor and get a better profile or something. So data leading to decisions, leading to better profitability and processes and uptime and all the good things that we're looking for from a business point of view. That's where we're going. And do we need predictive? That helps. That's one of the tools in the thing. So is everything else. And so we need to just think about, we're accumulating data. We've learned how to use it, massage it, analyze it, and use it for all kinds of things, including better visualization, better displays, and also, for predicting and statistical quality control, statistic process control, and all the different things we can do with math, which is way cool. And it all just boils down to the engineer can make better decisions, the operator can make better decisions, the plant manager can make better decisions, the division vice president can make better decisions, balancing one plant or another, where to send a new product line or whatever. It's all about decisions. It's solving bigger problems, making better decisions, and that's what we're doing. And so don't get all balled up about all this stuff going on. We're accumulating data one way or another, and we're using devices to do that. We're using better compute devices, better storage devices, better cloud, whatever. And those are all tools. And the end game is, what's the problem we're trying to solve, and are we solving it better? And we're using data to do it, which is really good. So anyway, this is Gary on manufacturing. And this podcast is brought to you with support from Inductive Automation. Discover a whole new view with Ignition 8 by Inductive Automation, packed with features for the modern control system like unlimited licensing, high-powered tags, and a mobile-first flexible design environment for all devices. Ignition 8 supports enterprises of any size. See all Ignition has to offer at inductiveautomation.com. Hey, stay safe, still wear your masks, wash your hands, uh, and go out and solve big problems and have a blast doing it. Thanks for listening.